Today on the channel, we got an unboxing of Jurassic Proportions from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Series 1 Super 7 Ultimate Edition. We've got the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today we've got something entirely different from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Series 1. We got the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. But for all your Transformers, Power Ranger, G.I. Joe, Marvel, you name it, needs, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save 10% on all in-stock items, and of course, anything over $39, it does ship free. And today we're taking a look at one of the Zords from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as we have looked at a couple of the figures. Now we're getting to the Zords category, so this should be very, very interesting, and one of these ones that's maybe not for everybody. I can see some people just collecting the Zords, some people just collecting the figures, and then a lot of people, of course, going back and forth, but you could maybe mix these with your Hasbro Power Ranger Lightning collection. You just choose your own adventure is what you can do at the end of the day. And one thing we're going to choose is we're going to choose to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And of course, let's start it off with the old shipper box. And this is about the biggest Ultimate I've unboxed so far. If my memory serves me well, like a young Bob Dylan, I think this is the biggest one. This is definitely a big box for an Ultimate. I know, don't they have some Godzilla Ultimates coming out? I think those are going to be pretty big boxed figures. Of course, Mum-Ra and some of the other ones. I know we got some Simpsons ones that are going to be oversized. But so far, I believe on the channel, this might be the biggest Ultimate Edition we've unboxed to this point. But there it is, Power Ranger logo. Always cool to see these. Off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. And then we get the big, big box here. Of course, the Red Ranger is the one that rocks the Tyrannosaurus, as we do know. Got the very cool packaging on these, the big slip cover as we're used to. Ultimate Edition right there. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger logo on the back. Always cool to see. And then we got the big slip case. All about that big slip case. Pull that off and we get to see the old Tyrannosaurus looking good in the package here. The big plastic window. Big, big, heavy figure, looking really good. A few accessories here, not a ton of accessories, as all the meat and potatoes are really of the Tyrannosaurus, of course, here, but looking really good. On the back, got a little blurb for it, and of course, got a picture of him, the little school picture of him up there up top, looking really nice, and the big blurb down below. But let's see what it says here about the old Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. Piloted by the Red Ranger, the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord erupts from the Earth to fight the evil forces of Rita Repulsa. This mighty Zord is capable of taking on Rita Repulsa's evil space aliens one-on-one. In combat, it uses its tail to hold its body up and deliver a devastating kick, and one roar can vaporize any opponent. Capable of combining with the other Zords to form the mighty Dino Megazord, the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord is formidable weapon and ally, and a good friend too, but let's pull him out, see what's going on here, see what all the fuss is about, and once again, we are taped in here at the top. Now, we don't see that with all the Super 7 Ultimates, so unless that's a brand new thing changing, or maybe it is possible that they're using a different factory for these, that's the only thing I can think of there, but pull him out, get that big purple background looking really good, off to the side, see you later, a gentle off to the side, see you later, and woo, this smells like fresh from the factory. Oh my gosh, getting a contact high off of this bad boy here. Big, big, heavy Zord, as you can see in the old plastic prison. I'm going to get him out of here and hopefully not pass out from the fumes. But I'm going to get him out and we'll be back talking all things the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. Alright, we got the Dinozord out of the package here. A lot of twist ties, a lot of tape, as we have seen with the entire wave here of the Super 7 Ultimate Edition Power Ranger Series 1. But let's start it off with the accessories, and even a Dinozord has to have extra hands, as we got different hands with this one, and we got two fists of fury, because one thing we know about Tyrannosaurus Rexes is when the chips are down, their mouth's caught, they can't do something, they use their fist. And yes, they got the little arms, but man, their little fist, they will go, and we do see that here, two balled up fists here for the old Dinozord. Nice silver color here, of course, your traditional hands. Very interesting to see a dinosaur with extra hands. So we do get the 2 fists there. We get some wide open hands. I guess you could grab a monster, a Goldar or something with these and kind of chomp down in his face if you wanted to, but nice hands here that are open. No movement on the fingers, anything like that. You got the 3 claws, 3 fingers going on right there. Choose your own hand adventure. And then he's got more of a grasping hand here, more of a kind of a C-grip hand that's coming stock on the old Dragonzord there. So like what I see with the hands, we do get a big old Ranger coin. I saw this in here and I just assumed it was going to be a little plastic coin, but no, this is like a straight up hardcore heavy coin. I mean, this is very heavy. I don't know what it weighs, but it is definitely very heavy. It's got the kind of ribbing on the edge of the coin like you see on quarters and bigger coins, so you do have that. You got a little logo on the back, the Zord coin, of course, and then you got the big Tyrannosaurus Rex on the front. Very nice kind of a copperish, goldish color here. And I believe, somebody can fact check this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Super 7 said something like, you could take this to any Subway across America, put this down on the counter, and they will give you a foot-long meatball sub on the house. Well, kind of on the house, you're trading this. But I believe I read that somewhere. I could have just totally made that up, but somebody feel free to fact check that in the review here. But Subway, meatball sub, eating good in the neighborhood or something. That might be Applebee's, but we'll pretend. We'll pretend it's Subway. So we do get a coin there. Then the final bit of accessory pieces here is an interesting one. I don't know how I feel about it. I like what they did here. I think this is a good idea because they're very miniature versions of the Red Ranger. And I do think when we get all the other Zords, which I assume Super 7 will get to, I'm sure we'll see yellow, we'll see blue, black, green. You get the point here. We'll see all of these. Probably the exact same mold, just different colors. That makes a lot of sense too. But we get 2 little mini statue figures here, and it is the Red Ranger. It does drive me a little bit crazy because the head is all red. It's like this all red head. But now for some reason, and it's been a long time since I've seen the original series of the show, this might be actually correct. If I feel like maybe this is, and I felt like that was one of the things, because they would always show the Zords coming, and then they'd show the Rangers kind of cheering them on, and that's what this represents. But did they not show them as their true self? They showed them as kind of this far away red masked Ranger, which he's, you know, has white and different colors in there. But it is a cool idea, and it is one of those things that shows scaling. It makes this, because you put this next to a figure, and I guess let's grab the Green Ranger, the Ultimate Edition Green Ranger right here. Obviously he's bigger, but not as big to true to life scale. As you can see, they're very close. Obviously he is bigger, just not as big as he should be, I guess, compared to this in real things. So they put this in there for scaling, which I think does make sense. I do like the idea of that. I could see having this on a separate shelf, having these around here, and that shows the height difference that they're supposed to be. So it does work. It just doesn't look quite like the Rangers, but I think, once again, fact check that, I think that's how it was supposed to be. But I like that little attention to detail there. I think that is cool. That is a nice throw-in, and I think we'll see this with the other Zords down the line. But now let's dive into the old Dragonzord here. And for a lot of people, probably the most popular Dragonzord would be the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I always liked Tommy the Green Ranger's Dragonzord a whole lot. I like that one. But this one was always right up there at the top. I like the Saber-Tooth Tiger too. I don't know. Choose your own adventure which ones you like. But very iconic, and I think it's a good one to lead with. It's a strong starter. I think we need this one in the line here. And it'll be interesting to see, will we get all the other ones and how long it's going to take. How many years is it going to take to complete the collection? I guess more to come. More to come. We'll stick with Super 7 and find out. But let's break this one down and let's start looking at this one and look at the head here. Of course, it is a Tyrannosaurus Rex head. Very mechanical, of course. As you can imagine, it is a robot Zord, whatever you're going to call it. But definitely looks mechanical, looks good. Get the silver kind of on the top against the red. You got the silver jaw, beautiful teeth going on there, and you do got the articulation in the teeth. I like that. And even back in the mouth, you got a couple of blasters, so you got those there as well. 2 red horns in the back of the head. Looking nice. Then the movement of the head, all kinds of movement. So a ton of up, ton of down. Down a little bit limited, just of straight up. But up, you get a lot of up there. And then side to side, you can actually rotate the whole thing around if you really need to. So I do like that. A bit of a traffic cone for a neck, but you do get side to side on the neck. So plenty of movement there. And one thing, when you look at this, it almost looks like it has no articulation at all. Almost looks like it's a statue. So the line breaks are very well hidden in here, I do feel. Then we get down, we keep moving through here. There's nothing really that moves at the waist, or at the chest, I should say, but the waist does have a nice waist movement there. You do get some arm movement here, some up and down, a little side to side on the arms, not a ton. And then, of course, you get the hands, all the rotation of a typical hand here. so we do get that. That works for me. Of course, Tyrannosaurus Rexes have the short, stubby arms, as we did talk about. That does work. You do get the same thing with the legs. You're limited a little bit. It's a little side to side, a little bit up and down, just not tons of stuff. But let's be honest, this isn't Spider-Man. We do know that. Then you do get the ankle articulation. You get some back and forth there, side to side, all the way around. So you do get a little bit movement there. And then, of course, the ankles, movement there. No side to side, but you do get the up and down on the ankles. That, once again, works for me as well. Looks like this was made in Vietnam. You know how I could tell? No, it's not the smell. Yeah, it smells like a factory, but I couldn't narrow it down to a Vietnam factory. But I could tell by the foot down here. It does say Vietnam Super 7. So I can read. So there you go. Looking good. Then you get the big old tail on the back, and I love this tail. A lot of personality in this tail. A lot of back and forth. Each little section of the tail here has its own articulation. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of the tail that moves around. You can go up and down, back and forth, all around. Beautiful red color. Beautiful silver against the sides there, looking really nice. Then you get the black tip on the tail, looking really nice. You got some mechanical pieces on the back, mechanical throughout. Just a really good looking Zord, and I really don't have this to a Zord to compare to. Of course, the ones back in the day from Bandai, I did have those. My cousins had those, so I was around those fairly often, but I don't have any modern day Zords. So as far as Zords go, this is going to be my line of Zords. I don't foresee me getting into any Hasbro stuff. I like what I see here. Is it absolutely perfect? I don't know. I don't know what my expectations would be. Definitely articulation-wise, for me, I think it has plenty of articulation. I'm not going to be doing Spider-Man splits, things like that with this guy. And he definitely does look very good. And I like the tail. I like what I see here. I guess I really don't have any complaints. I guess the complaints may come when they build out the rest of the Zords, depending on scaling, how they look side by side next to each other. That might say, okay, all these other ones look totally different than this one. I don't like this one anymore. But as of right now, when this is the only thing we have to compare to, I don't mind what I see here. I actually like what I see here. And of course, this is a little bit more expensive. It is a little bit bigger. There's a little bit more to this, I'm sure, making it. So basically a one and done sculpt, where the Ranger one's obviously getting the most of your molds, things like that. This is going to be a little bit higher price point because of all those reasons here, but it does look really good at the end of the day. And we did put him up next to Tommy the Green Ranger here. A little size comparison, so you can definitely see that size difference. I did grab a few other things. How about Pudgy Pig from the Hasbro Lightning Collection? You can kind of see that comparison. So I guess you could theoretically have these guys kind of fight and duke it out. You know, Rita, of course, growing her monsters. You could have this as the grown monster and have this, I think, work fairly good, because a T-Rex is a lot bigger than a saber-toothed tiger, for instance. So I do find this to be okay scale-wise, to me at least. I do have the Blue Ranger handy right here, too, from the Lightning Collection. Not too much difference. A little bit smaller, but still out of scale, just like the Green Ranger, if you're trying to have these guys in scale to each other. And we're going to continue on. How about Grimlock? Another famous T-Rex out there is old Grimlock. This is one of those PCS statues, I think they are called. That's about the same exact size here. If you straighten his legs out, they're pretty close. You take him off to the stand, pretty much straight on there. So Grimlock and him could run off, do some T-Rex things, maybe chase some hunters, eat some meat, and drink in the water. Who knows what T-Rexes are up to these days. But that does look okay to me as far as this scale here. And I did grab a Marvel figure, Marvel Legends Red Hulk, so you can kind of see that comparison. He is bigger than the Red Hulk, but definitely both red at least. They're both red. So a little bit of a loss what to exactly compare this to without having any modern day Rangers or even the old Bandai Rangers from back in the day. Should have called up that old outlaw, Waylon Jennings, the Power Ranger expert. He is the Power Ranger guru, at least in my world. But he would have brought some of his over. I could have compared those, but wasn't thinking about it there. But for what I see here, I like what I see. It's going to be one of those things, though, this isn't going to be for everybody. If you're all in on this line, it's going to be for you. If you want just the Zords, going to be for you. But if you want to, you know, I can see some people saying, you know what, I'm going to go Hasbro Lightning Collection for the figures. I'm going to go Zords for Super 7. I can see people mixing and matching, and I can see some Waylon Jennings of the world just buying all of them. That very well could be the case as well. But for what I see here, I definitely do like it. Definitely works for me. I'm here for it. But what say you? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one. All in, all out. What is your plan for these if you are picking them up? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Might give me some ideas of what I'm going to do with them here. But let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. As you guys know, we got videos every single day. and then some. Yes, and then some. And we got even more content for you over on the old Patreon channel. Early access to videos like this, bonus videos, Q&As, you name it. A lot going on the old Patreon channel. And also, you can support the channel at the Patreon, link in the description below. And you can support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. And then don't forget about social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for a little T-Rex action, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.